You're looking at a game changer in the ultra-portable laptop space, the 2023 Apple MacBook Air with M2 chip. But here's the thing. Most people still think of the MacBook Air as the entry-level Mac. That's no longer the case. This isn't just a machine for students or casual users. This is a full-fledged powerhouse disguised as a featherweight. With a massive 15.3-inch Liquid Retina display, Apple's blazing fast M2 chip, and up to 18 hours of battery life, it's redefining what a thin and light laptop can actually do. So if you've been holding onto an old laptop because you thought thin meant weak, it's time to think again. Let's be honest. Most ultrabooks hit a wall when you push them. You open 15 Chrome tabs, a few Lightroom edits, and maybe a Zoom call in the background, and suddenly your fan sounds like a jet engine. Battery life? Forget about it. You're tethered to the wall. And the display? Often washed out or too small to be useful for real work. That's the pain point this MacBook Air solves. Apple isn't just making a smaller laptop with a bigger screen. It's delivering desktop-class performance in a chassis that weighs less than 3 pounds. That's not just convenient. That's revolutionary. Pick up the 2023 MacBook Air, and the first thing you notice is how it is, just 3.3 pounds. But don't let the weight fool you. The build is pure Apple. A single block of 100% recycled aluminum, machined to razor-thin precision. The midnight color isn't just a dark hue. It's a matte, anodized finish that resists fingerprints and scratches better than most laptops in its class. The keyboard is the same Magic Keyboard you know from the 13-inch models, with a comfortable scissor-switch mechanism and a backlight that adjusts automatically based on ambient light. The Force Touch trackpad? Still the largest glass trackpad on any laptop. Pinch to zoom, 3-finger swipe to switch apps, and haptic feedback, so precise you'll forget it's not a physical click. Now let's talk about the star of the show, the 15.3-inch Liquid Retina display. This isn't just a bigger screen, it's a screen with 500 nits of brightness, P3 wide color, and true tone technology that adjusts the white balance based on your environment. Everything looks richer, sharper, and more lifelike. Whether you're editing photos, watching 4K video, or just browsing the web, the difference is noticeable. And because it's edge-to-edge with minimal bezels, you get more usable screen real estate without increasing the overall footprint. Under the hood, the M2 chip is where things get serious. Apple's custom silicon isn't just fast. The 8-core CPU handles everything from compiling code to running multiple virtual machines without breaking a sweat. The 10-core GPU delivers smooth graphics for everything from Final Cut Pro edits to indie game streaming. And with up to 24 gigabytes of unified memory, you're not just running apps, you're running. Need to keep 30 Safari tabs open while running Logic Pro and a dozen Slack channels? The M2 handles it all without stuttering. And thanks to Apple's unified memory architecture, the CPU, GPU, and neural engine all share the same pool of fast, low-latency RAM. That means no lag when switching between tasks, no slowdowns when the system needs to juggle multiple demands. Battery life? Up to 18 hours. That's not a typo. Apple's power efficiency is legendary, and the M2 chip is no exception. I've used this machine for full work days, writing, video calls, light photo editing, without ever needing to plug in. Even after 8 hours of continuous use, I still had over 40% battery left. That kind of endurance means you're not just productive, you're no hunting for outlets, no carrying a charger everywhere, just pure, unshackled computing. Now, let's talk about the user experience. The 1080p FaceTime HD camera isn't just for Zoom calls. It's a glimpse into Apple's AI-driven future. With computational video, your face stays sharp and well-lit even in dim lighting. The studio quality mics pick up your voice clearly, even in noisy environments. And Touch ID? It's not just a fingerprint sensor. It's a secure, instant way to unlock your Mac, approve payments, and even log into apps without typing a password. It's the kind of convenience that fades into the background until you realize you're using it dozens of times a day without thinking. But no laptop is perfect. The 256 gigabytes base SSD is blazing fast, But it's also, if you're storing a lot of raw video, large photo libraries, or games, you'll hit that limit quickly. The upgrade path isn't cheap either. Apple charges a premium for extra storage, so plan accordingly. And while the M2 is powerful, it's not a workstation replacement. If you're doing heavy 3D rendering, complex CAD work, or running multiple external GPUs, you want to look at the MacBook Pro or a desktop setup. This is a laptop for, not raw horsepower. How does it stack up against the competition? Let's compare it to the Dell XPS 15. The XPS 15 has a gorgeous OLED display and more ports, but it weighs nearly 5 pounds and maxes out at around 10 hours of battery life. The HP Spectre X360 is sleek and convertible, but its Intel processor can't match the M2's efficiency or performance. And then there's the base model MacBook Pro 14-inch, which is faster but costs $300 more and weighs half a pound more. For most users, the MacBook Air 15-inch strikes the perfect balance. Big screen, long battery life, and Apple-level performance in a package that's thin enough to slip into a messenger bag. So who is this MacBook Air for? It's for creatives who need a portable canvas. It's for professionals who want a second screen without the bulk. It's for students who need a machine that can handle a full course load and still last through a cross-country flight. It's for anyone who's tired of compromising between screen size and portability, between power and battery life, between performance and silence. If you're coming from an older Intel-based MacBook Air, the jump to M2 is like trading a bicycle for a sports car. Everything is faster, everything is smoother, and everything just. The integration with your iPhone and iPad is seamless. AirDrop files instantly. Unlock your Mac with your Apple Watch, and use your iPad as a secondary display with Sidecar. It's the kind of ecosystem magic that makes you wonder how you ever lived without it. So here's the bottom line. The 2023 MacBook Air with M2 isn't just an upgrade, it's a redefinition. It's the laptop you've been waiting for if you want desktop-class performance in a chassis so thin and light you'll forget it's in your bag. It's not perfect, storage upgrades are pricey, and it's not for hardcore gamers or 3D artists. But for 90% of users, it's more than enough. And with up to 18 hours of battery life, you'll never have to worry about finding a plug again. If you're ready to leave the compromises behind and step into a new era of ultra-portable computing, this is the machine to get. Click the link below, pick your configuration, and experience what happens when Apple's engineering meets real-world usability. Your future self, who's not tethered to a charger and struggling with a tiny screen, will thank you.